Hey team, welcome back to my channel. The source code to this video is available on my GitHub account. Here is the URL. On line 1, this line imports the necessary types from the chrono crate, which provides date and time handling capabilities in Rust. From lines 3 to 5, this function is leap year, takes a year as input, and checks to see if it is a leap year. It returns true if and only if the year is divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, or if it's divisible by 400. Otherwise, it returns false. On line 8, we begin our function days_until. The function days_until takes two date strings, start date and end date, as input. It calculates the difference in years, months, and days between those two dates and returns the result as a tuple. On lines 12 and 13, these lines parse the start date and the end date strings into naive date objects using the format specifier. If the parsing is successful, the resulting naive date object are stored in the start date and end date variables. On line 15-16, here we're declaring and initializing an array days per month. Now notice the size, it's a U size and there are 12 elements. This represents the number of days in each month. The initial values correspond to the number of days in a non-leap year. On lines 18 to 24, these lines extract the year, month, and day components from the start date and the end date using the respective methods year, month, and day provided by the naive date object. On lines 26 to 36, this block of code is executed if the start day is greater than the stop day, indicating that the end day is earlier in the month than the start day. It adjusts the stop month and stop day accordingly. If the start year is a leap year, it updates the number of days in February. On lines 38 to 42, this block of code is executed if the start month is greater than the stop month, indicating that the end month is earlier in the year than the start month. It adjusts the stop year and stop month accordingly. The stop month is incremented by 12 to ensure it represents the correct month. Now we're down to lines 43 to 49, the end of the method, and notice all we're doing is we're computing the diffs. These lines calculate the difference in years, months, and days between the adjusted start date and end date. On line 48, this line returns a tuple containing the calculated differences. As you can see from line 51 to 60, the main function serves as the entry point of this program. It demonstrates the usage of days_until function by passing in two date strings to calculate the differences. Now I'm using dbg bang. This is a macro that just shows the results of this object. Here on line 58, you can see I'm using assert equal bang. This is another macro. And here you can see I'm calling the method, and then this is what I'm expecting to come out. And if they are equal, nothing happens. If I have an error in there, then I have a output on my screen. Below, you can see that I have quite a few tests to ensure that this function works correctly. And there